currently 10:22 p.m. It wasn't that long ago since I got up from a nap that pushed back the time Dad presumably heated these fries from Burger King, which were from a family bundle coupon he used. That I believe he found somewhere today within his apartment unit. I believe he had been sent them by the Red Plums Company, which is what Red Plums are what mail carriers call the promotional stuff. Or at least that's what Dad calls them. This is a Whopper. Pretty good. I currently have with me a barely started cup of coffee. And also a half-finished cup of apple cider vinegar. I arrived here at about 7:30 p.m. It was around 7 when Dad picked me up. And it was during the drive to his apartment unit that he made the stop at Burger King to get the family bundle. After that, I practiced my driving a little by telling Dad which streets he had to turn to in order to get to his apartment unit. I recall only making one mistake. Essentially saying we had to go to English something road when it was actually somewhere else. In this case, that the name of that street was Maiden Lane. I pretty much spent my time at Mom's place doing some work on the 99th Dan Hamming episode. In this case, I made some relatively complex custom props. They're on the level of the most complex custom props I typically do. In order to create that scene that's part of the longer, this general scene, in order to add in that part to a now 29-second raw video file in which the dark-skinned member of the trio walks past a car that has two Hispanic styrofoam drawings of people and I put those characters in as prop characters within a car interior template scene, added in some of my custom props, made a rectangular snip, taking the whole thing. Realized that wouldn't work for what I wanted to do. So I then added in the prop of the car I wanted to depict the outside of, in this case, an SUV. Had to make that SUV yellow so that I would be able to remove it without also removing any of what ended up being depicted of those two styrofoam drawings. In this case, they were mostly depicted from the mid-chest up. Once that was done, I realized there was something off with how that custom prop looked to the outside background of the scene in general, so I then took that custom prop back to Lunapic, managed to remove the back window entirely for the most part. At many points for what I've described so far, I had to go in with the eraser tool in order to get rid of some bits that weren't removed with the transparent background tool. After I had removed the back window, and then edited one of the videos I use exclusively for making custom props. I created a scene with the bare minimum of the car interior template, with the window against a completely white background. And then I went into Lunapic and removed the white background, which, due to the effects of that prop, ended up being light hues of light gray. It was around this time I discovered, to complete the previous story quest I talked about, to get a blueprint for this, I simply had to unlock the social bar by researching this technology. In that way, I managed to at last managed to aid/motivate 5 other players and complete that quest. It turns out, seems quite likely that GameHag's second quest for this game will require me to spend soul gems. Which is something I don't want to do, so I might have to find another game to complete game tasks for GameHag and avoid turning into a frog until their offer walls are fixed up, or I find suitable offers on the new ones. But for now, I'm still on Forge of Empires and, as always, Alvenar. Once I was done making the back window transparent, I did what I just described in order to recreate those little bar marks that appeared on the back window, but I couldn't save those bars when I made the back window transparent. So, and then how they came seemed like a light gray rather than the dark gray/black they seem to be. Within Vion Studio, unedited, so I used Lunapic to replace their color with the color black. I think I recall finishing that work around 2 p.m. During and after that work, I recall there being a period of time from 9 to 10 in the morning in which in my room I ate the rest of the beef jerky sticks that I got for Christmas. Yeah, they were still good even after all this time. The primary thing I thought about at Mom's place was essentially planning out this styrofoam landscape drawing I'm going to do as a gift for Grandma when we go and visit Mom's side of the family on Sunday for Mother's Day. I take it from this that nobody's accepted the offers I made on the market. They're reasonable offers, it's just that on the market, there's a whole lot of different offers. A lot of people that make a lot of offers, so people might not even see them. I in particular made those offers so I could cater more tournament encounters. Basically, though, for times when the enemy squads are too strong for me to take out through combat. I recall recently my top position in helping one of my fellow fellowship members on an ancient wonder was threatened, so I dumped some ancient knowledge points in to protect my top position so that I get the highest possible reward. Did that relatively early on. Recently I had been set with a series of quests. This is a welcome side quest, since the previous quests were basically just sort of generic side quests in which I would basically do a 1-day production period at different kinds of the standard good manufactories. At least here it's something a little different. My supplies are a bit low because catering sometimes requires giving up supplies. It can also require giving up mana and orcs too, and coins. Now, when I was at Mom's place, for the most part, planning out what I wanted to do for Grandma's styrofoam drawing gift, which evolved from basically a bush with tulips to now currently it's going to be a bunch of tulips in front of a bush, because tulips are kind of individualist flowers in that they don't really appear as a group within a bush. As the Adam Ruins Everything clip a Tulip Mania might otherwise imply. These cookies are pretty good. While at Mom's place and before I fell asleep, at Dad's place, I had this bit of sickness in which I had a mild earache, then at a different point, mild jaw ache, including some general pain in the teeth, and no toothaches or anything like that. And a mild headache with some spitting up of phlegm at Mom's place. I'm not sure if that was caused by either stress or picking my ears with my fingers in order to remove bits of earwax. I knew not to do that with cotton swabs, so I just used my fingers. I didn't really know if I wasn't supposed to do that. Yeah, but I'm doing well now. Maybe it was a potential side effect of a choppy sleep schedule. I slept at Mom's place somewhere between noon and 1 p.m. Woke up around 5:20 p.m. Then once I was at Dad's place, I think it was around 8 when I fell asleep. At that point, I felt kind of tired. Fell asleep around 8 p.m. I think I woke up about an hour and a half later. I basically yelled out to notify Dad that I was now up, and that was when he seasoned the fries, putting on olive oil and the fiery puri spice. which yielded a much better result than the Zesty Diabrol spice. Based off my personal experience. Yeah, these cookies are pretty good. Essentially, while at Mom's place, I brought the Sharpie markers I intended to use for Grandma's styrofoam drawing gift for Mother's Day in a plastic bag. After digging through boxes and bags of Sharpie markers, and then brought over the canvas bag filled with Sharpie markers, various colors, with me to Dad's place after also putting the fresh ones that still managed to remain separate from the rest or these in my left pants pocket. And this is a pinch injury. It's still healing.